welcome back to Stitchy Godmother. I'm Anthea. I am going to take part today in the 5 questions, 1 take. Now I know I'm a bit late on this, but at the time that it was popular, I think I was busy working or something. I do remember chatting to Lisa who started it and saying that I would catch up with it eventually. So Lisa, I finally got to do it. So I've got my phone here. I'm just going to refer to that for the questions if you don't mind. So the aim of this is to answer 5 questions in one take with no editing, which is quite difficult because yeah, lots of ums and coughing and whatever else that I usually edit out, so please forgive me for that, but this is the aim of the whole video, is to do it in one take. So let's get started. The first question that Lisa asks is, if you were given a paid sabbatical to spend a year living anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? I must admit this is quite difficult because I have lived in 2 countries. I have moved around a lot. I grew up in South Africa, moving every 18 months to 2 years or so. So I went to 6 primary schools, 3 high schools. 1 high school I was at for 3.5 years, which was a boarding school, and during that time my parents moved 5 or 6 times, I can't remember. But anyway, I moved around a lot. Came to the UK, married a husband whose job has moved us around a lot. So I've experienced north of the planet, I've experienced south of the planet, you know. I've experienced lovely hot sunny climes, which got a bit too hot actually, and I've experienced wet and rainy, which again gets a bit too cold and wet. So I've seen a lot. I've seen pretty much, in terms of weather, cultures and things like that, I've seen quite a bit. So if money was no object and it was just me going, then I would probably go to Australia. I say if it was just me because I have broached this subject several times with hubby and he won't entertain it. Not even for, you know, an extended 3-month break or anything. He is a real homebody. He likes the UK. He doesn't like going abroad. So it's a struggle to get him to go anywhere. Consequently, well, it is one of the reasons why we holiday in the UK. We go camping and that's it. He likes the UK. He likes what he knows and the language that he knows, and that's it. So if it was just me, Australia, or even actually if it was just me, a round the world trip. I'd love to see like all the languages and cultures and places, and you know, I'd eat all the food. I mean it is why I am the size I am. But if the hubby and kids were coming with me, then I think I would go back to Inverness. Inverness was a place we lived for 4 years. We loved it there. It had such a nice, gentle pace of life. It was a great place for kids, although our eldest was only born there. We moved away when she was about 10 months old, so we didn't explore that side fully. But yeah, nice pace of life, lovely countryside, friendly people, good weather actually, strangely, for being so far up north, but it catches the Gulf Stream, so winters can be a lot sunnier and colder, but they're dry, which, having lived in the Glasgow area for the last 10 years, yeah, dry is important to me. So question number 2. Who was your favourite teacher growing up and how did they influence you? Well, as I mentioned in the previous question, I moved around so much as a child. I have had so many teachers, because quite a lot of my schools, I started the year in one school and then halfway through the year we'd move and I'd end up moving to a different school, so sometimes I had 2 teachers for the same year. But I would think probably high school teachers, there were less high schools firstly. I would think probably my form teacher for my last 2 years of high school, who was Juffrouw van Wyk. I know her on Facebook actually even now. So we've kept in touch. She was a huge influence on me, a huge influence in like what I read, how I viewed my Afrikaans heritage. She really encouraged my Afrikaans side, because that is the language that she taught, the subject she taught, but she was also my form tutor. So she really encouraged me a lot in all the subjects, but I really owe a lot to her. And my other teacher I think I would have to mention is Mrs. Curtin-Johnson. Mrs. Curtin-Johnson was the headmistress of the last school I went to, where I repeated my final year. And yeah, I can honestly say I wouldn't have passed maths, and I would consequently not have gotten into university if I hadn't been for Mrs. Curtin-Johnson. She was an excellent, excellent head, an excellent teacher, and she really put so much into my education just in the 1 year I was at that school, and changed my whole opinion on how school could be, because up to that point I had disliked school immensely. And Mrs. Curtin-Johnson turned it around and showed me that it could be a positive experience. Name 3 things besides sewing that you're good at. Excuse me. I'm good at everything crafty. I haven't yet found a craft that I couldn't turn a hand to. So yeah, crafty, crafty, crafty. I like knitting and crocheting and sewing and spinning and cross-stitching and calligraphy, and photography, and yeah, I turn a hand to everything. Secondly, I am a good singer. I did music at uni, and singing was my first instrument, so I studied opera. And thirdly, yeah, I think wrapped up with the second one is just instruments in general. I play piano and guitar. I've dabbled in tenor sax and flute and violin and drums, and so yeah, again, pick an instrument and I will have a go. Maybe not brilliantly, but I'll have a go. And the third thing, what am I good at? A third thing I'm good at. Ah yes, talking. I do jabber a lot. I like talking. I like chatting to people. I think this is why I quite like talking to the camera, because I feel like I'm just, you know, talking to some friends. So yes, I talk a lot and very well, and it's gotten me into trouble a few times. Yeah. Do you cook? What meal or recipe are you most known for? If you don't cook, what meal or recipe do you most like to have made for you? I can cook. I prefer not to. Out of the two of us, hubby is the better cook, in that he is great at doing the everyday stuff, you know, all the meals of an evening, and he gets it on the table in time with minimal like disruption, swearing or mess. Me, I'm the kind of person who likes to have people over for dinner, and then I will go and find a really fancy recipe and I will follow it to the letter. That's the kind of cooking I like. It has like really random ingredients and stuff. I enjoy that cooking. I do not enjoy the day-to-day grind cooking of just getting everybody fed. It's not my favourite. In fact, I would go as far as to say as I absolutely hate it. Thankfully, I have a hubby who really is brilliant, and he just gets it done, you know? And he lets me carry on with the stuff that I'm great at, which I really thank him for, because see, if I had to sit and get the food on the table every single day, I think my family would starve. So I quite like, you know, really weird recipes to cook. What was it I made once? Like a venison thing with chestnuts, and it was really nice. I like that. But it's not something you're going to cook every day or even every week. I did that one for a Christmassy kind of thing. What I like to have cooked for me is pretty much anything. If I don't have to cook it, I'm happy. But hubby does a really good chili. That suits our diet, tastes amazing, and I think his secret ingredients are cocoa powder and orange juice. Because that's a logical thing to put in chili, but it makes it amazing. One sewing question. What is your favourite pattern ever and why? Oh gosh, I should have gotten a pattern out. To be honest, as I said in my seamstress tag, I don't sew an awful lot of repeat patterns at the moment. I really ought to, because it takes me an awful long time to adjust the pattern to my size. But I don't tend to do a lot of repeats. I have, however, oh shoot, I don't know what the number is now. I will put up a picture here of the pattern I have made the most. It is a lovely sort of top that sits at empire line. It's elasticated at the waist and shoulders, has a raglan sleeve, and it looks a bit like a peasant top kind of thing. Now that one I have made twice. That I've got two finished versions, and I've got fabric cut out for two more versions, but that fabric has been cut out for about 5 years now, and I haven't yet made it. So, but it is on my plan of things to do this year, which if you subscribe. Whoops. And my battery ran out. So much for doing things in one take. Anyway, so as I was saying, if you subscribe to the channel, you will see in the next week or so I'm planning to put out a video on all my sewing plans for the year. Again, I know it's late, and most other people have already put theirs out. But that's part of the plans I've got for this month, is to put out sewing plans and a fabric haul video, so you can see what I've got coming up. And I've also got a few other videos planned, so click the subscribe button for that one, and you'll see what I've got coming up. And one of the things that I've got planned is to finish those two tops that are already cut out. So hopefully that will happen soon, and that means that that top, again, picture over here, will probably be the most made pattern I have. Otherwise, I tend to, as I said in the seamstress tag, I tend to self-draft a lot. So it doesn't tend to be the same thing over and over again, you know. It's kind of, I like making a variety of things, but what I ought to do, and it's a challenge for me this year, is to get a pattern adjusted for myself, and then to make it multiple times, so that it's not a waste of time every time I'm making something to have to spend ages adjusting the pattern. Anyway, right, that is it for all the questions. I hope that you've enjoyed watching me answer them. I've enjoyed taking part, and thank you to Lisa for posing the questions in the first place. Now, I think everybody I would have tagged has already done the question, this video. So if I'm going to leave it open-ended, if you haven't done it yet and you'd like to share, then please do so. Feel free to tag me again if you want, so I can have a look at your video. It'd be great to learn more about you. So give it a try and post it up on YouTube. And the great thing is, because it's one take, there's no editing to be done, so you don't need to have any fancy software. Just upload it straight to YouTube and give me a shout and I'll come and have a look at it. And I will link back to Lisa, whose channel is called And So On, so that you can have a look at the questions and have a think about them before you sit down and record. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give me a comment down below. It'd be good to hear from you. See you soon. Bye!